live car Q&A. We look to do straight up rapid fire questions and answers for all of you that are looking to learn how to save the most money when it comes to your car. I want to make sure you know how to do it. I want to make sure you know how to do it the new way. And come on in. If you've been here with us before, welcome back. If this is your first time ever being on a live stream with us, my name is Deshone, publicly known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. And I spent 14 years in the car business. I left in 2020 after the pandemic. And since then, I've been making sure anyone who will listen has the insider strategies that you need to really be able to make your best purchase. And so we dispel a lot of myths here. I want you to come on in and hit that share button, tag a friend, and right after you do that, you can start typing your questions. I'm just going to get all the tech set up for about 30 seconds, and we can get right to it. But come on in, make sure you tag a friend. I always say that if your friends find out you've been using these strategies, saving all this money you're about to save, and you didn't tell them, you might damage that friendship. And I don't want to be the reason a friendship falls apart. So the best thing for you to do is to just hit that share button, all right? Or tag somebody that you care about. So let me just make sure we're good. How's the audio? Somebody give me a clear. Can we get clear? Because we on multiple platforms at once. Can we get clear for audio? And y'all can start typing your questions. This whole live is sponsored by my new book. It's a digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. And it's 75% off as part of our official launch. And you can get it in my TikTok bio as long as you get there before the 30 minutes runs out. Instagram bio, you won't pay the normal $97 price. And if you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, you can scan the QR code, or you can click this link I'm about to include here in the comments, and you can get your 75% off. So let's get to it. Y'all know we'll be here for at least an hour, and we're going to try to answer as many questions as we can. Okay, there's the link. Okay. And just to have the best opportunity to listen, if you stay on long enough, someone else is going to ask the same question that you have. That's the way we found it to work, because many of you have the same question. But what you do is, as I'm answering a question, don't post another question. As I'm answering, and when I'm wrapping up that question, type your question. As soon as I finish, hit send. Then we got the best shot of getting those questions answered. So hold on 1 second, Instagram. All right, just give me 30 seconds, y'all. Y'all know, if you've been on with me before, you know this technology is not my strongest suit. So it takes me a little longer than the average person to get the tech going. But once we start going, you know we go. Who's been here before? Welcome back. Type WB for welcome back if you've been here with me before. Let the new people know, because they may have never been here, that once he gets going, we go. All right. All right, I think we're good. Let's get back to Instagram. Okay. All right, let's get busy, everybody. I'll be taking questions from all platforms. So let's start here with TikTok. If somebody co-signs with you, just as a co-signer, do they have to sign off when you trade it in? It's a good question. So if you're on the loan, then yes, as far as I know, you're on the loan, then that means you're partially an owner. They can't. Okay, the person who's on the loan could be different from the person who's on the title or the registration. So the person who's on the title is the one that owns the car. They're the ones that are going to have to leave. Are you on the title? Are you on the registration? If you're on the registration, then yes, you will have to sign off, because you are looked at as an owner. Okay? If you don't know where to start and I need a car, will your book help? Absolutely, Bethany. You'll find that a couple people on here probably have it, but yes, it's called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships, and it's step by step, literally starting at the beginning, and step 7 is delivery. So 100%. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go to YouTube. Um, well, this is actually Facebook. Greetings. My question is it possible to get a short-term lease for 6 months, or is it better to just purchase a car? So that's a good question as well. If you need a car, there's no lease that you're going to get for usually under 3 years. Sometimes you'll see a 2-year lease, but those deals are not usually good. If a manufacturer has a 2-year lease and it's good, then they'll let you know when you connect with them, when you start to get offers the way I teach. You'll find out if it's a good 2-year, but figure boilerplate, 3-year lease, 39 months maybe, 36 months average, 6 months no. So if it's a short-term thing like that, then your best bet is to tie up. Don't go buy a heavy car, because if you need to change that car, you don't want to buy a $20,000, $30,000 car if it's going to be 6 months. I'd actually tell you do the opposite. Buy the least expensive car that you can get. Buy a car that, I go buy something on Facebook Marketplace. If I knew 6 months, I don't want to tie up money, because when you go to get out of that car, if you put a loan on it or if you pay a lot, you're going to lose a lot. So I go inexpensive as possible if I just needed to drive for 6 months. Great question. Good to see you, Jim. Good to see everybody. Shout out to the sharers. I appreciate you all. Thanks to everybody who shares, who tags. We can't do this without you. We can't get this message out without you. So yeah. Courtney, what if you're in a predicament you don't talk to the person that co-signed with? Then that doesn't change the legality of it. And here's the rule of thumb, y'all. I'm gonna give you all a rule for co-signing. Co-signing, if you're not willing to make the payment, some people say never co-sign, but there are instances that I've seen. I've been in the car business since 2006. I left in 2020. That's why I can speak honestly, because there's no one over my head. The co-sign instances that I've seen is when the person who co-signs is willing to pay if the person that they're trying to help doesn't pay. So I'll give you an example. Let's say your child getting their first car. If they don't pay, you're going to pay. Like, you're willing to pay. They might say, I got a job, but I'm good. You're their fallback option. If you lose the job, don't worry. I got you. I'm willing to take care of it. Then you're fine. You need to have the money to do that. Because if the worst something, you have no idea, and some of you do. So I don't want to assume. You may actually have experienced when someone doesn't pay, someone will damage your credit quicker than their own. So you have to be willing to say, no matter what, I'll pay. Now, if you can't pay, if they don't pay, if they stop paying, you can't pay the payment, then the rule of thumb is don't co-sign. That could be for your spouse. That could be for, as long as you say, if they don't pay, I'll pay, then that's a safe co-sign, because you're not going to get hurt. But if you're dependent, hey, if you pay, if you don't pay, I'm in trouble, then don't co-sign. Let's see. Instagram, type your, and everybody type your questions in full. Don't continue them. Don't break them up, because I won't be able to see them that way. So type them all in one in full. How to get out of a lease early for a newer car lease. Okay, remember what I said. Someone's going to ask the same question you have if you listen long enough. Somebody said, how do you get out? Could y'all keep tapping the screen? I see the likes starting to go up on TikTok. They're getting up. Could y'all just keep tapping the screen and let TikTok know that we got a lot of information we need people to hear? Appreciate y'all. Yep, firing it up already. Thank you. So somebody said, how do I get out of a lease early to get a new lease? It's the same way you would get out of a finance. Who didn't know that you could sell a car you have payments on? Some people thought they got to wait for the title. Some people think, I used to have people walk into the dealership and say, as soon as I make my last payment, Deshone, I'm coming to see you for that new one. There are people who think they must wait for that title to be in their hand before they can go sell or trade that vehicle. That's not true. So what you want to do is the same thing that a person who's trying to get out of any car who wants to get into a new car would do. You do something I call the equity assessment. You got to find out what your equity position is in your vehicle, in your lease. The way you do this is you're going to call the bank or the leasing company. If you have a paid off car, you don't have to do this step. If you have a paid off car in the equity assessment, you just go to the net, what I'm about to tell you. But for those of you who have a bank involved or a leasing company, you call them, you get the payoff. Once you have the payoff, don't look at your contract and say, oh, residual. No, you need the payoff. Once you have that, you're going to go and start to get online offers. What I'm about to tell you to do will take you 20 to 25 minutes because there's a word that I want you to eliminate. Some of you know, if you might have been, who's here for the first time, type of one. Somebody who knows the word we talked about a couple days ago, that one of the words we eliminate from our vocabulary. If you want to start paying less than everyone, there's a word I never want you to say again. That's trade. Welcome to all the first time people. We got a lot of first time people on. Welcome. The word that you are not going to use anymore is trade. You don't get the maximum value when you trade anything. You just don't. The way you get the maximum value is by getting offers, multiple offers, and that's how we make sure we get the most. So after you get your payoff, you're going to go and do this process. It takes 20 minutes. This is step 2 in my book. It's called the equity assessment. You're going to go to carmax.com. You're going to go to Driveway. All these companies pay. They bid, they buy cars, and they don't lowball. This is what you want to do. CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Not kellysbluebook.com. They're very different. AutoNation, Sell My Car. Car Guru, Sell My Car. That's 6 offers. And what you're going to do, we don't do anything before we have at least 5 offers on anything. Because when you start doing this, you're going to experience how much money you've left on the table by not doing this. So that's how you assess your equity position. If you do this and you're trying to get out of your lease and you see that your payoff is 19 and your highest offer is 18, you can't get out early and have it make financial sense. You can go into a dealership and have them put the balance into your new car. I'm not going to recommend that. You can go and do whatever you want to do. But if you want to do it financially wise, you want to either be at a break even or you want to have positive equity, meaning those offers are higher than your payoff. And very important, before we go to the next question, keep typing your question. You got it, Flores. Yes, trading. We don't use that word anymore. Not if you're getting bids. If you have a lease, you want to, when you're on those websites, it's going to ask you, is the car leased? Is the car owned? Is the car financed? You want to put owned, because there's something on their website that triggers thinking every lease has a third-party restriction, and it does not. So if you don't have a third-party restriction, you can sell direct to those companies. If you have a third-party restriction, you're going to take those offers. So that's going to tell you where the market value is. Take the average of those offers, and then we're going to sell. We're going to get bids from a used car. A third-party restriction doesn't limit your ability to sell and get your equity. It limits who you can sell to. So and if you have a third-party restriction, say BMW, you can only sell to a BMW dealership. Now, they'll tell you, well, I'll buy the car and resell it. We don't do that. Here's why. When you buy the car, you pay taxes, you pay fees. That's going to come out of your equity. So if you have $4,000 of equity, once you pay your taxes and fees, you're probably going to make nothing. Okay? But when you sell direct to a dealership, most times they don't pay tax, so their payoff is a little lower. There's no fees. You literally just, if there's equity, you just leave with the balance. That's the equity assessment process. That's what you do when you want to get out of a lease, out of a finance. Does not matter. When you have your car and it's paid off, you do the equity assessment before you do anything in terms of shopping. All right. Let's keep them coming. All right. Good question here. This one's Facebook. We're taking questions from all 4 platforms. So just Instagram, I got to keep scrolling. I always forget Instagram. It just stays right there. Everything else, it moves. Yes, you got it, Gifts of Joy. Equity assessment. I have a question. I need to sell my car. It needs a motor. Where can I sell it? Not many places. Car's worthless if it can't drive. No transmission, no motor. Here's what I always tell people. If you can, get the car running. If not, then it's worth At best, probably $500. What I would tell you to, is because there's online, but you could type in Google. There's people who buy anything, right? But if you truly, some of you are in a position where the car is good, but the motor is bad. My father, he has a 2009 GMC Envoy. His motor went maybe 7 years after he got it. He still has it. Car's beautiful. He takes care of it, but the motor went. He went and he got himself a used motor. Local mechanic. Always do this with a local mechanic. Y'all, the dealerships will bang you out for these motors. You want to have a local mechanic or a local service shop that has a great reputation that everybody knows. We usually find them on social media or ask around. He got a motor put in. I think he probably paid $2,500. That motor has been in for at least 4 or 5 years, at least. And he's finally at the point because that car was a keeper for him. Some of y'all who know, you've been on here, we know, keeper versus Lisa. Keeper is I bought it, I'm keeping it 8+ years. He's about to sell that truck and he'll probably still make $5,000. So a truck that would have been worthless, no motor, he got 4 or 5 more years out of it, and he's gonna sell it and make money. Okay? Do you recommend getting, this one's Instagram, do you recommend getting a certified car when buying a used car from a dealer? Great question. A lot of good questions coming in. I don't. Because it's not going to determine. Here's what I'm not going to say I don't. The process we use to buy pre-owned cars, quality pre-owned cars, we're narrowing it down based on title history, service records. We can only see service records on the Carfax. Accident history. Those things are going to tell you if a car is quality more than it being certified. Oftentimes, like I'd much rather buy when I bought my pre-owned Infiniti, it wasn't certified. There was some out there that were certified for 2,000 more, such or three. Now certification gets you another year on the warranty, but it's not a guarantee it's a quality car. A certified car without lots of service records is not as good of a car as a non-certified car with great service records. So what I always say is when we narrow it down, I have 2 strategies I teach. One is for new cars and leases. That's the 25 to 5, when we're reaching out to 25 dealers online to get 5 offers. This is all in my book. If y'all like, what are these strategies? This is all as part of our opening, our launch. I always say grand opening. As part of our book launch, we're doing 75% off my digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. Everything you're going to see in my social media videos here, it comes out of that book. So if you want, it's in a step-by-step format. Everything is in there. You can get it for 75% off for the next 30 minutes in my TikTok bio or in my Instagram bio or deshonsbook.com or scan the QR code. So there's the 25 to 5 is for new cars and leases. The multiple marketplaces for pre-owned cars. So when you look at this market, you're going to look at all the online marketplaces that have cars. And now what you're going to do is you're going to assess the market. The first thing you do when you open those marketplaces, when you're looking for a used car, is I need to know where the low side of the market is and where the high side is. Because what is our goal when it comes to market value? Who knows? Who knows? If you've been on here, if you've seen this first time, if this is your first time on the broadcast, I don't expect you to know this. But if somebody's been here, we got a lot of new people, so we might not necessarily have anybody that knows. But what is our goal in terms of market value? Let's see. All right, I'm gonna give it 3. I'm gonna give it. All right. All right. We must got off below market. The only thing that matters when it comes to, oh no, Peggy, not above. Peggy said get above market, but no, below market value. Because there's market value, and you can call market value the average price. Is the average price a deal? Average means it's what most people are paying, right? Then there's above market value, and then there's below market value. Our goal, the only thing that I consider a deal is below. Market value is not a deal. So when you open those marketplaces, the first thing we're doing, we opened up 8 marketplaces. Everywhere there's used cars: Driveway, Carvana, CarMax, Cars.com, Car Gurus, Auto Trader, Carfax.com. We open them up, and the first thing we're going to do once we put our criteria in is we want to see what is the low side of the market. The low side is where the junk is. Bad Carfaxes, frame damage, salvage type, that's okay. We need to know where the low side is so we know what our target should be. See, if that low side is 22, and then the average is say 25, 26, but then the high side is 27, 28, then we're looking to target around that 22, 23, 23 and a half. That's how we make sure. So you can't get a below market deal until you know what the market is. So my process in narrowing down and what I'm teaching you is when we narrow it down, the best offer might be a certified car or it might be a non-certified car. Certified cars don't necessarily guarantee it's the best offer in the market. All right. How do you negotiate online? This is YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. Email. Now, here's the thing. My process is strategic because I was in the car dealership. I'm going to teach you how to buy cars without talking. So, because the more you talk, the more trouble you're in, because this is a battle of words. You can say the wrong thing. You can't say the wrong thing when you're typing. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about saying the wrong thing when you're typing. So the only times we're talking to people, if you're going to do it my way, is when if we have a third party restriction, we talk to used car managers. I talked about that about 10 minutes ago, because we're going to sell our car to a local used manager. We're not talking to salespeople about numbers at all. I know it sounds crazy, but we're not talking to salespeople about numbers at all. If you're going to do it manually, then I would tell you to call and ask for a sales manager. If you're shopping for a new car or lease, you need to get 5 offers. Until you get 5 offers, you won't see how much money they're playing with. When you get 5 offers on a brand new car, you're going to see there's going to be at least a $3,000 to $5,000 difference. When you get 5 offers on a lease, you're going to see there's going to be about $150 to $200 difference on the low side. With luxury cars, it's going to be bigger. So you need multiple offers, because here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't want you to forget it. 80% of dealers are overpriced. 80% of things you see online are overpriced when it comes to cars, used cars, lease deal. So in order for you to expose and reveal the best deals, those below market deals, you got to get 5 offers. And yes, we do that by email, all by email. In my book is my scripts, my templates. You're not saying what you want to say. You're saying what Deshone wrote. Because I knew, and then post the next question. We can shoot it up now. I knew that salespeople use scripts. When that script, when you see Mrs. Thompson, good news. We see you have a 2018 such and such. My used car manager just said he's looking for a car like that. Please give me a call as soon as you can. How many people have gotten an email like that, or a phone call, or a letter? How many people have who've gotten a letter like that? Or hey, good news. I could get you out of your car early. I just looked and I saw that you have an exact car we're looking for, right? That's all a script. So when you are communicating online, those scripts come, and all I did was write the responses to those scripts. Hey, Mrs. Thompson, when can you come in? Can you come in at 11 today or 1? So I don't want you thinking about what to say when those things happen, to keep the conversation on our agenda. All right, even for cars I've had for years, they still call you, right? It's amazing. Like, oh, that 12-year-old car that you have, we need that right now. It's all scripts. They sending that out to 1,000 people, 2,000 people at once. All right. How do you put less down on a lease? Taxes, plates, etc. And a good question. We don't put money down when we get offers. We get offers. I told y'all if you stay on the broadcast long enough, someone's going to ask the same question you wanted to ask. She said, how do you put less down on a lease? When we are, here's the rule. Do not pay attention to any commercials. Don't pay attention to any websites. I'm going to show y'all something that, I always show people that learn from me. I show their lease deals. This is Danielle. Danielle got an Audi 2024 Audi A3, $44,000 car. She's paying $550 a month, no money down. That's a 1.3% lease. 1.3%. Tope got a $54,000 BMW i4 e-drive, $690 a month. $690 a month. That's a 1.3% lease. That's not what they're advertising, y'all. Great deals are not advertised. And when you use this and you start getting multiple offers, I'm going to show you deals that even like the lease programs and the discounts were even better. Like Greg got under 1%, $56,000 truck. He's paying $527 a month, no money down. $56,000 truck. That's a $1,100 a month payment if a person wanted to finance that truck, no money down. Why are these deals so different than what you'll see on a commercial? Because a commercial is not a deal. Commercial might be market value, maybe above market value, but it's not a deal. These are below market deals, and the only way you get them is with multiple offers. You must get at least 5 offers. We get 5 to 7 offers, and the best person wins. It's a bid. Who's not a good negotiator? Let's go to the next question. Who's not a good negotiator? You either are not good at it, you don't like it, you hate it, maybe you're an introvert, soft-spoken, you're not a good nigga. It's not your thing. Negotiating is not your thing. Okay, a lot of you. So I'm telling you that the way for you to save and to enjoy the process is to start making people bid for your business. When you start making people bid, you'll save thousands. These people didn't get deals because they're great negotiators. I don't get deals because I'm a great negotiator. I get below market deals because I make multiple people bid, and whoever wins the bid gets my business. All right. I'm glad you like that, Macrona. Yeah. All right. Let's go. The most I offer for my 2020 Civic was $18,600. I owe $15,000. Good job. So you have equity. Now you move to the next step. But before you did the equity assessment, here's the most important question, y'all, because remember, the equity assessment is step 2. We got to put your new car deal on the right foundation. I want everybody to answer this. The next car you're purchasing, the next car you want to get, how many years do you want to keep it? What is your goal? 4, 8, 10, till the wheels fall off? How many years do you want to keep the next car? Because this is the most important question. When you open my book, or if you ever hear me mention step 1, the first thing, the most important thing, it's this question. How many years are you keeping the next car? All right, I see 8, I see 5, I see 6. Okay, I see less than 5. Okay. So if your answer was less than 8, then you should be shopping for an aggressive lease deal. You should not be purchasing your cars. You should not be purchasing your cars because your biggest expense is the unseen expense. Who knows what it is? See, I'm gonna start asking y'all now, because the more we do these shows, there's a couple people who grabbing this info and it's sticking, and they're just like, they're not going back to the old way. What's the unseen expense that we talk about? And then I'll break it down for those of you who are new. The unseen expense. Let's go. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to answer that. The unseen expense. We talk about it all the time. There we go, Len. Depreciation. Way to go. Depreciation. That's the unseen expense. It's not car repairs. It's not, I'm talking about a recent car from the day you buy a car. You could buy a car right now, tonight, today, this morning, this evening, for $35,000. Bring that car back tomorrow and try to sell it. Is it worth $35,000? One day, you may have not even driven it. Nope, exactly. This is what you have to see. You have to see what you haven't been trained to see. Once you see it, you see it's simple. So the unseen expense is depreciation. How could I have lost 10 grand in one day? How could I have lost 7 grand in one day? I just bought the car for 35. I bring it back tomorrow. You tell me, well, we can't give you no more than 28. It's a used car. And, oh, depreciation. So unseen expense. So now that you know the unseen expense, we have to make sure we plan to avoid. How do we minimize that? So I'm telling you that there's two ways. One way is buy that car, keep it 8+ years. Because the value of your car is going to go down like this. And then after about 6 years, it starts to level out like this. You start losing a little less value. And then after 8 years, you're losing a little bit. You know what I say? If you got a 10-year-old, who has a 10-year-old car out in their driveway right now? 10 years old, 10. Just type the number 10. If you have a 10 or longer, 10 or it could be 11, 12. Look, so all right, some of you 12. Here's how you won with that vehicle. You've outlived the depreciation drop, and a year from now, that car outside is going to be worth about the same as what it's worth today. That's how you win. We're talking about the two ways to beat the unseen expense. The unseen expense depreciation. A year from now, whatever your car is worth today, 10 years, 11, 12 years old, a year from now, it's going to be worth about the same thing, isn't it? That means you've won. That's the reward. Some of you like Deshone. I have no goal to actually keep a car that long. Not. Some of you who said, I asked how many years, you said 3, you said 5, you said 6. You are not keeping the car long enough to beat the unseen expense. So you got to go to the other way to beat it. You saw what Greg's paying. You saw what Tope's paying. You saw what Danielle's paying for her Audi. The other way you beat it is to get an aggressive lease deal. See, their payments are so low going into that car that depreciation that a purchaser is taking, they're not taking it because they're not even putting that money into the car. If the purchaser is losing thousands and thousands of dollars, they're only paying hundreds per month for depreciation, 500. What you're paying, your depreciation. If your payment is 600, that's what you pay. Hey, that's my depreciation for the month. That's my depreciation for the month. Very low car payments and not taking these big hits. So the people who lose the most are the people who are buying cars. You buy your cars and then you trade them in 3 or 4 or 5 years. 2 years. Why are you always losing? Why do you are always upset at your trading? It's because you're trading your vehicles in, you're replacing them when they're still losing tons of value every year. Once you implement this, I don't care what you heard about leasing. It was wrong. That's why I'm here. Once you implement this, you're going to say, listening to people, listening to whoever you learn that from, it costs me money. You can't get that money back. All you could do is change what you're going to do now and moving forward. And then tell your family, tell your kids, tell your spouse so they can stop you. Make sense? All right, let's keep the questions rolling. This is what we do. So if you lease but decide, hold on, let me see where we at. All right, Instagram, as long as I'm at the bottom, I think if I'm at the bottom of the chat, it'll show the comments. All right. So if you lease but decide you want to keep it, then what? Will payment go up? Why would you want to keep it? I just told you, once you buy the car, you're back in the depreciation curve. So is your goal to now keep it another 8 years? That's the only time I recommend buying your lease. Now, let me tell you a story. about how bad this is. When you buy your lease, and most times, especially unless you're writing a check for it, once again, paying the car off doesn't change the depreciation curve. But let's go deep on if you're going to take a loan. What typically happens when a person buys their lease is they need to get a 5 or 6 year loan to have a comfortable monthly payment. And it's usually 6. So if your lease payment was $400, typically to have a $400 car payment, you got to take a 6 year loan for the balance. That's 9 years. You've already leased it for 3, and then you're going to buy it and you're going to put a 6 year loan on it to pay it off. Every one of you on here is a smart person. Would you ever sign up for a 9 year loan? Would any one of you ever sign up, volunteer for a 9 year loan on one car? No. Bunch of no's. I see a bunch of no's. Nobody in here would say, yeah, give me the 9 year loan. So when you buy your lease out, that's what you're doing. You're paying for 9 years on the same car. And here's another thing, and then shoot the next question. Yeah, that's what we about to set you free. Somebody said these loans are trapping us. That's it. We're going to set you free. And it's not the loan. It's just got to use them. You got to know how look, the people who are supposed to educate you don't. Car salespeople, they're not trained. Guarantee you, I get car salesmen watch us all the time. They just stay in here and watch because what we're talking about is not something they've ever heard. So they're like, man, I wish I knew this so I could talk to people more. When I started learning this stuff, any of my customers from Mercedes will tell you, they came in and tried to buy a car from me, and I knew they weren't keeping it 8 years. I wasn't letting them buy it. If they wanted to buy it because they just didn't want to listen to me, I would just say, listen, when you come back in 3 years, if you told me you keep this car 3-4 years, right? Yeah, but you're not going to let me work your police price. No, all right, listen, you get the car, but when you come back in 3 years, you're not going to like what it's worth. Most of them listen to me. Most of them listen to me. That's why people say, oh, salesmen, because we weren't taught this. So if the people who are supposed to be helping you aren't educated, you got to get educated. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You'll educate them. When you buy a car, you'll teach them. All right. What if you're leasing and get, I see a lot of people watching on Facebook. I don't see too many questions coming from YouTube and Facebook, but I do see a lot of people watching. So I guess just tune in. Is it better to go out of state for a lease? Whoever wins the bid. Whoever wins the bid. This is what you're going to see. We get multiple offers. So you're going to get out of buying local. You're going to get out of this walking into the local dealership. You'll probably never do it again except for your test drive. When you're test driving, we always test drive a new car or a lease before we get our offers, because you need to make sure you like the car. Some of you, you're not taking enough time to choose a car right. You're rushing through the process of choosing the car. This is for most people going to be a $40,000 transaction, a $20,000 transaction, a $50,000 transaction, but you're rushing through the process of choosing. There's 40 some odd companies that make cars. There's hundreds of cars to choose from. All of these companies want you to at least come see their product, and we're rushing that part. That's why some of you end up getting a car, and in 3 months or 6 months, you don't like the car. You rush the process. So what we do is we make sure we always test drive, and then we come home and whatever we like, we get offers on it from home. So we are not in the local business anymore. You want to save real money? It's nothing like driving 100 miles because the dealer that actually you're going to pick up your car from beat everybody else by thousands of dollars. I'm going to show y'all something. This came to me yesterday, and I grabbed it. This is in a private Facebook group that I have. I have a video library in addition to my book. Everything I teach in my book is step by step. If you don't know, I have this new book out. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So it's a step-by-step book. It has everything in there, and it's 75% off as part of our launch. It's normally $97, but for 30 minutes, as long as that timer hasn't hit 0, and if you visited the page, the timer starts. So the timer starts, as long as it didn't hit 0, you can get 75% off. So go to my TikTok bio, get your book if you want everything I teach in one spot. Same thing with Instagram. Go to my Instagram bio, click the link, come back, join us here, get your 75% off. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you guys see I'm going to post a comment here so you can grab your copy. That's here. Just click deshonsbook.com and come on back. So this was written to me, and I said, I got to snatch this because it's amazing. There's a little bit of a conversation. This person, Sean, his brother shopping for an F-150 Lightning XLT. The window sticker of this car, the price of the car is $73,285. The dealer discount he got is $4,990, pretty much $5,000. The selling price is $68,000, but then he revealed through multiple offers, because not everyone's going to tell you all the rebates that a vehicle has, if it has any. Some people won't tell you about them. Some people will keep some of them. Some people, you have to reveal all the rebates. That only comes through multiple offers. $15,500 rebate. I remember when I was selling them, I sold two Maybach, depending on how you pronounce it. When I worked for Mercedes-Benz, they had a $20,000 rebate, each one of them. He saved over $20,000. He hasn't gotten his car yet because he literally just wanted to make sure. And here's what I said to him. This is what I said to him. When he said, hey, I just want to make sure, is this good before I snatch this? I said, Sean, I haven't seen the other offers yet, but I'm assuming you got at least 5 because he knows our process. You're saving over $20,000 on this with this discount and the rebate. But the only way to know it is to compare it to the other offers, because you might get excited about 17 and someone can do 20. You never want to assume what the best offer is on a car. You never want to assume, oh, I should save 3, or I should save window sticker price, or you can't assume. So I said, if this is the lowest offer of the 5, then this is a slam dunk. He wrote me back. He said, guess I should have put a little bit more info. Yes, I got 15 quotes. I couldn't find it. He did it all from home. I know it sounds crazy. We do this, y'all. What I'm trying to teach you is the easier way. We copy and paste. So he said, I ended up expanding my search to 150 miles outside my area because, look, very important what he's about to say. I couldn't find anything under MSRP locally. I couldn't find anything under MSRP locally. I just told you got a $5,000 discount from the dealer who won his business. So he's driving to pick up the winning bid. That's what I tell y'all, that local business, sometimes dealers see your zip code, and because they think you're close, they're not going to give you the best offer. But that dealer who's 100 miles from you, 70 miles from you, 150, they know sometimes they want to stick it to their competition, and they want one of their license plate driving around their competitors' market. See, when he brings that truck back from that dealer, those dealers know, why do we got this dealer's license plate in our market? Because they beat you. And he would have never found it if he wasn't getting multiple offers. It's big money, big money. So shout out to Sean, over 20 grand. So let's go. Let's do some more questions. Let's keep it going. Do most cars come with rebates? We don't know, Vanessa. You don't know what cars have rebates. It doesn't matter though. All you want to know is what's the best offer in the market. That's the only question. You can't assume anything. And the thing about Sean is his next vehicle, he can't assume that type of discount. He can't. All he knows is whatever vehicle I'm looking for. He didn't plan on that. He didn't say, I'm getting this F-150 Lightning, man. If I can't save 20 grand on it, man, I don't want it. He didn't plan on that. All you do is decide what you want, get offers, and the offers will reveal what is the best deal in the market. Okay? Thanks, Dominic. I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm learning so much. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Is this actually live? Well, just look at the questions. Very true. I bought my Escalade. I had to know that I wanted it and enjoy it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Don't rush the process. How do I get access to ask questions? Just type the question. Instagram, y'all don't ask too many questions. Just type the question. I'm taking questions from all 4 platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just ask your question. How does a 5-year-old discharge bankruptcy affect getting approved for a lease? Depends on where you're at now. Getting approved for a lease comes down to not just credit score, but your profile. You can have a good profile. If you've got a payment history on a car, I always say nothing gets you approved for a car like a paid car, because the bank looks. I see y'all shooting up the likes on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. Could y'all keep tapping the screen? Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all shooting those likes up. Could everybody if you're enjoying this, could you hit that like button? If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe. We're going to be doing things on YouTube that we can't do on any other platform. So if you really want the best experience, as much as, we're going to deliver experience to everybody. The best experience by far is going to be on YouTube, because what we're going to do is we're going to be able to archive stuff. We're going to be able to timestamp questions. So we're looking to roll that out very soon. Within the next 2 weeks, we want to be able to, but we just started this. We literally just started this about 10 days ago. So, but yeah, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube for the best experience. It's just made for stuff like this. So yeah, it's not just score, profile. So if you have if you had a bankruptcy discharge, the whole goal. I've seen people with bankruptcies who are leasing in a year. So the key is, as soon as your bankruptcy is discharged, rebuild. You're fresh, but you got to rebuild that credit. So, credit card, and I don't teach about credit. I always refer people to Shonda Martin. Whatever platform you're watching on, Shonda Martin, go follow her, go learn from her. She's just like me, but she does credit. She'll do lives, she'll do Q&A. Brilliant young lady. So I always tell people, when you want to do credit, you want to get your credit up, go follow her and listen to her. But yeah, you can, it depends on how fast you're going to rebuild. Let's see. Like the live, hold on. I'm looking for the question on Instagram. So you said, how do I get access to ask questions? I said type it, but you never, okay, I guess you were typing it. Here we go. Should I receive the final offers from 3 dealerships before doing a credit application? We get 5 offers. 3 is not enough. 20% of dealers are 80% are overpriced. 80% are overpriced. So 4 out of 5 are overpriced. The only way you're going to save the most money and see the bottom of the market is 5 offers. And we never let anyone run our credit to give us an offer. Never. Never. Nobody runs your credit until you have picked the best offer and decided to take it. Even if I had bad credit, I still want to know. It's super important, because here's what happens sometimes with bad credit. Here's how you get manipulated. You don't know what a car should cost with good credit. So you'll walk into the dealership and see, okay, normally with good credit, this car is a $15,000 car. Y'all know every $15,000, every $5,000 is $100 a month on a 5-year loan. So when I'm looking at a $15,000 car, I'm automatically thinking $300 a month. Now, yes, that's with good credit. But if you don't know what it costs with good credit, when they hit you at that $600 a month for it, you're like trying to talk them down to like $550, and it's just like they started so high. I'd rather you start with good credit and then show me how it went up because my interest rate. If it went up because of your interest rate, then that's justifiable. If it went up because they're charging you more for the car, that's not justifiable. And many times they're going to, when they know you have bad credit, they're going to pad the price of the car. So not only are you going to pay high interest, but you're not even getting the car for 15,000. They're going to charge you 18 for it plus the interest. They're literally packing the deal. It's called packing the deal, packing or padding. So in order for you to avoid that, you have to know what a car costs with good credit. And then you make your goal over a year, 2 years, fix your credit so that you can benefit, so that you can make the best types of car deals. And negative equity. Stay out of negative equity. Those of you who have negative equity, I'm telling you the reason why. It's because you haven't learned about leasing. When you take what I'm teaching you about leasing, if you don't keep your cars 8 years, you start to shop for aggressive lease deals, you're going to see I'll never have negative equity again, because negative equity is like bad credit to a person with good credit. I've seen people with 800 scores come in, you got too much negative equity, can't get a car. Can't get a car. So the key is get out of negative equity, stay out of it. And the way you usually are going to get out of it is to start leasing. Stop buying, because you're buying and trading them in while you're still in the heavy depreciation. Yes, Annie, of course, my book goes over everything. She said, does your book go over leasing? My book goes over leasing. My book goes over purchasing cars, new cars, used cars, selling leases, everything. So, and it's in a step-by-step format. That's why the book is called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. Step 1, we talked about 20 minutes ago, the most important question. I told you, for those of you who just jumped on the broadcast, we talked about it. The most important question is how many years are you keeping the car? Because it's the depreciation question. It's the unseen expense question. The last step, step 7, is delivery. So this isn't a book. You're not going to get this book and read it through and then say, all right, now I'm ready to get my car. This book is walking you step by step to the car. By the time you get to step 7, I'm congratulating you, getting ready for delivery. Let's do step 6 is paperwork. Let's get ready for your paperwork. We're going over, do we need an extended warranty? We're going over, do we need a service plan? Do we need tire and wheel, depending on where you live? So you shouldn't be there reading that, having me congratulate you if you're not there yet. So you do one action, you open the book, I say do this and then move on. You do this, then you move on. And if you just follow that process, by the time you get to step 7, you're getting ready to take delivery. That's the way the book is designed. It's not like read the whole thing and then meet me and I'm gonna give you a quiz. No. Bought your book yesterday, found out my lease, which is about to end, has a third-party restriction. Honda Finance, does my 3,000 equity do me any good? Just follow the steps on the third-party restriction lease. The same way you took the first steps to do the first part of the third. In the book, there's 3 types of equity assessment: standard, lease, and third-party restriction. The same way you did the first part of it, just go to the part where I say, when I told you, ask your bank like I said, they said yes, there's it. Just follow the system. Follow the system. All right, it's all in there. We sold tons of leases with third-party restrictions to local dealers. But what you're going to learn, for those of you who don't have the book yet, we timed the transaction. So, for example, David was one of the first ones when he joined me. He got access to our video library, and he said, Deshone, as soon as I saw that I could sell to a local dealership, I made $1,500 more selling to a local BMW dealership. But when he came in, he had a car that was on order. And he said the car's a few months away from arriving. But he said, well, the dealer who wants to buy the BMW from me, my old lease, will he wait around? I said, yeah, of course he will. Because a dealer who wants to buy a car today wants to buy it in 3 months. So you just let him know, hey, I'm shopping for my new car. As soon as I lock up my new offer, I'll be back and I'll sell this one to you. He's going to be like, sure, absolutely. And depending on the time, it might change by a few $100. 2-3 months go by, it might change, but we time our transactions, because when we're not trading, taking lower values for our cars to get a little convenience, we're taking 3,000 less than we could get getting bids. When we stop trading, now we're selling our cars and our leases to the highest bidder, and we're buying from the lowest bidder. So in order to do that, we time the transactions. I've had many people that say, Deshone, I dropped off my old car to CarMax this morning. and I'm going to pick up the new car this afternoon. Maximize both sides. All right. What about buying through my business? It's not hard. Here's what I will tell y'all though. Buying through your business is not hard. The same process works. You still got to find the car, still got to do leasing versus buying, still got to shop multiple offers, pick the best offer, get the banks to bid and get multiple offers. The only thing that changes is when you ask them how many years, who's registering the car. You ask for a business application instead of a personal application. I don't teach people to go put cars in their business name with no personal guarantor. If that's what you're trying to do, then you should learn from somebody who's teaching that. But you still need to get the best prices on these cars because nobody I see overpays like some of these people who are putting cars in their business name. And one more thing, I just got to say this, and then let's go to the next question. I see a long one here. We'll try to address that. You don't want to, let me tell y'all this. We're going to have a lot of people get audited. You've seen what happened with the PPP loans. For years, the PPP loans were fueled from social media videos. And then you had people going to jail getting indicted because the day of reckoning came. Same thing's going to happen with all these people who are buying cars in their business name who don't use the car for business. There's no business. Like if you're not using the car to drive and do business, but it's in your business name and you're writing off hundreds of thousands of dollars in car payments, and I'm not giving you tax advice, that's going to be a little hard to explain to the IRS if you get audited. If you're driving to your kids' games and you're doing your grocery store shopping and you're writing off all that mileage, that's going to be very hard to explain to the IRS. Why is this car in your business name? What business do you have? Oh, well, I make signs. Where do you go? So be very careful. Be careful who you learn from. That's all I'm going to say. Next question. That's all I'm going to say. Robert, the book is in my TikTok bio. For 30 minutes, it's 75% off. Robert said, how do I get the book? It'll be in your inbox in a couple minutes. It's a digital book. And the reason it's a digital book, it's a couple reasons. You'll see I link you to videos. I link you to my scripts in there. Couldn't do that with a print book. Also, I update it. Anything that changes, websites that Vroom went out of business not too long ago. They were part of the strategy. They were part of who we used to get bids from. I went right into the master file, updated it. Vroom was no longer there. So people who opened up the book never saw Vroom again. If I had a print book, wouldn't be able to do that. So go to my TikTok bio, 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97 price. Same thing with Instagram. As long as you get there before 30 minutes expires, you get 75% off. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can click deshonsbook.com. I posted the link, or you can scan the QR code. Let's see this big question here from Facebook. What do you think on the deal? Finance 2024 Nissan Pathfinder, market value $54,230, discount savings and rebates $3,230, net vehicle price $51,000, trade allowance. All of this stuff is not what I would ever do. Estimated trade payoff 0 net. So that's a very common offer from one dealer. Very common. Very common. And it leaves you with that question. You see how the old process, shopping that way, creates the same question? Is this a good deal? You have nothing to compare it to. Nothing to compare it to. When you have things to compare it to, you won't ever have to ask anyone, is it a good deal? When you walk in, if you had to buy a 100-inch TV and you went in to buy that TV and they said it's $1,200, is it a good deal? I wouldn't know. Some of you probably wouldn't know. How do we know? I looked on Amazon, I looked on Walmart.com, I looked on Best Buy. That's a bad price. I could get a 100-inch for $900. Same technology. All I'm teaching you to do is shop for cars the way you shop for everything else. That's it. It's when you wrap your head around that, I should be shopping for cars the way I shop for everything else. This is what I do with everything else except cars. And if I shop for anything else, like I shop for cars, like I've been taught to shop for cars, I would always wonder if it was a good deal. When you have things to compare it to, you never wonder. You think Sean's wondering if he got a great deal on that F-150 Lightning? You think Danielle, who her Audi lease, Greg with the Kia EV6 lease? No, because they saw 5 to 7 offers. Sean said, I saw 10 offers. The biggest one saved me $20,000+. That's it. That's it. So let's go. Next question. Let's go. Instagram, where y'all at? Sorry, I missed how to purchase the book. In the Instagram bio. Just jump off for a minute. You can come right back just because if you visited already, the timer started. Once it goes to 0, it's back up to $97. So go to my Instagram bio, click that website, click the button that says get my new book 75% off and grab your copy. Okay, what's my comeback line when the dealership keeps saying come in and test drive and crunch some numbers? Is this a new car or used car? If you haven't test driven the car yet, then your comeback line should be, all right, I'm coming to test drive. You go in, you test drive, you leave. You're only talking to one dealer. That's the first problem. 80% of dealers are gonna make it hard. That's why we have scripts for everything. When they say, when can you come in? We say, hey, we're handling our whole purchase from home. None of the other dealers I'm talking to have needed me to come in. Are you able to work me up an offer from home? Put it back on them. None of my scripts ever end with a statement. It's always a question. Bounce the ball back to you. Oh, well, Deshone, we don't really quote online. We like you to be here. Oh, okay. I'm talking to a few dealers. No one else has said that. Should I eliminate you? Oh, hey, can we just have a quick 10-minute phone call? Actually, I'm not going to have a phone call with anyone until I make my deal, but I'd love to give you the business. Will you present me an offer? See, I used those same scripts, so it wasn't hard for me to rewrite the answers to them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. And all those scripts are in my book. Every single script for buying new cars and leases is in my book. We don't use scripts for buying used cars. The only time we talk to somebody when we're buying a used car is when we have to verify there's no bogus fees. When we find the best deal on a used car online, we narrow it down. I'm gonna tell y'all something very important. Who's bought a used car in the past? I'm gonna tell you something that you've missed. And again, y'all know I'm a little bit of a bad news first person. The only way you're really gonna win is to realize that you've lost money following the old process. If you bought a used car in your life, type U, or you plan to buy one, type U. But yeah, that's the only time. Once we narrow it down on a used car, the last thing we're going to do before we go visit, because we never want to let anyone waste our time, we're not going to waste our own time, we must verify the fees before we go. Okay, so type the letter U. Anybody who's bought a pre-owned car, or you will be buying a pre-owned car. So the most important thing, once you've narrowed it down, we narrow it down to top 3, top 5. With my Infinity truck, I bought an Infinity truck a little while ago, and I narrowed it down to 4. They were all white. They all look similar, black interior. I narrowed down based on title history, service records. They all had good service records, and they're all in a similar price point. This is where it gets confusing because I'm looking at 4 cars. Pictures look good. Carfaxes I saw for all of them look good. Mileage is not too far off. How do we pick the best one? How do we pick the best one? Because that's what has gone through your mind. Went through my mind. Here's how we do it. I pulled the original window sticker for each one. I created something called the true value percentage. The true value discount is the only thing that matters when it comes to how much you're saving on a used car. Let me explain. I pulled the first window sticker. Now, all these Infinities, they're asking between 31 and 33 pre-owned. They were 3 years old at the time. 31 and 33. I pulled the original window sticker for the first one. The original price is 46. So it was originally 46,000. They're asking 30. Let's say they're asking 31. Okay. That's one percentage. Pull the window sticker for the next one. Original window sticker. I see this one was originally 48. They're asking 31. Okay. Second one's a better deal. If this one was originally 48 and they're asking 31, this one was 46, they're asking 31. This one is better. Similar mileage. I'll pull the third one. It's 52,000. So all right, 52,000. And I didn't always pull them in order. I'm just saying, they didn't go like progressively high. I just pulled all four. I'm just telling you. The third one is $52,000 brand new. 52,000 brand new. You're asking 31 and change. Okay. The one I got was 54,500 brand new. They're asking 31.8. So if I just looked and tried to go with my gut, then I might pick the lowest price one. But the lowest price one has $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 less equipment in it, so it's not a better deal. The one that I ended up getting was a 42% discount from the new price. That's why when you see people that learn from me, this is how you look at pre-owned cars. Look, this is Vincent, pre-owned Lincoln. Look, he went and bought a 3-year-old Lincoln. His goal, he said, was to get a discount, targeting to find a discount 30 to 35% off MSRP. See, you never thought that the original MSRP was important when you were buying a used car. That's how people got in trouble all through the pandemic. Because some people were going in buying used cars for 34,000. And if we pulled the window sticker, the brand new price was 34,000. Major trouble. So he ended up getting a deal for 43% off at a dealership that delivered the car from one state away. See, now these things will never leave you. You'll never buy. If you're following this and you're going to put this into action, you could get my book if you just want to have it play by play. Digital book in my TikTok bio, 75% off. But this is how we look. This is how we shop. Look at Pierre. Graduated, purchased this certified pre-owned 2022 CX-5, 20% off original MSRP. So when he's narrowing it down, his final steps is I need to know original MSRP because that's the only way I'm going to be able to choose the car with the biggest discount. Another dealer might be giving them 2,000 off. But if you're giving me 2,000 off, but your percentage discount off the original price is still higher, you're not giving me a better deal than this dealer who might not be giving me anything off. Because maybe they priced the car to sell. They just, hey, put it there. They want to sell it immediately. So they put it at a good price. That's the true value percentage. I call that the true value percentage. You need it. Never buy a used car without it. All right, y'all. This has been good. This has been good. I'm enjoying these more and more. She said, I bought the book. Can't wait to read it. I love it. And I always say, don't read it, use it. Don't read it, use it. Use it, save money, win. You're not going to spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership anymore. You're going to make people bid for your business. You're going to stay in control. No one can make you make a mistake when you're not talking. No one can make you make a mistake when you're in your house. And enjoy it, use it. And make sure you email me when you get your car. I want to see the deal. See, people who know how to get deals, when you tell me what you got, you're going to bring me the numbers. People who don't know how to get deals, they just tell you about the car they got. I don't want you telling anybody, me, about the car you got. I want you to tell me Deshone, look at the deal I got. I want you just as excited about the deal as the car. Every single car I ever got. Look, I just told you 42% off the Infinity truck. Am I excited about the Infinity truck? Yes, I am. I enjoy it. But I'm also excited about the deal. You see what I'm saying? So for everybody, if you just jumped on, we're finished. You want to see the rebroadcast, it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. But everything I teach, this whole live stream is sponsored by my brand new digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And it's a step-by-step playbook. Everything I teach. Leasing is one strategy. Purchasing, if you don't know whether you should lease or purchase, you'll know if you watch the rebroadcast because we talked about that. But I'll go into detail in it in the book. I'll link you to a video to help you understand. Everything you'll need is in there, and you can get it for 75% off as part of our launch. Just go to my TikTok bio and go to my Instagram bio, click that website, and then click the button that says grab my new book, 75% off. If you guys, I'm gonna post the link one more time for you guys on YouTube and on Facebook. You can get yours here. And certainly we'll be back. Now, anyone you run into, I just put together a live stream compilation. I'm going to play that all day tomorrow. I took all the week shows, and we pieced them together, and we're going to just let them stream all day tomorrow. So anyone you run into, if you want a refresher, they'll be streaming pretty much on all platforms tomorrow. Tell your friends, hop on. Tell your family. Listen, we believe we're doing something no one else is doing, and we believe we're saving. I personally will stand on the fact I've helped more people save more money. By the grace of God, I've helped more people save money on cars than anyone in the world. I stand on that. I have the receipts. I could sit all day and post about 100 people, but we're not going to do that. So I want to make sure that anybody who we don't want them struggling. So invite them and invite them to the community. So thanks, y'all. I will see y'all in a couple days. We'll be back for some more. Live stream will be playing tomorrow. Enjoy. And for everybody got the book, use it. And thank you. God bless y'all. We talked about leases already. So go check out YouTube and watch the rebroadcast. It's up, or Facebook.